The steam locomotive BR18, the Bavarian S36, the queen of German express locomotives. When people talk about the most beautiful steam locomotives in Germany, one name is mentioned time and again: the Bavarian S36. Later classified by the Deutsche Reichsbahn as Class 18.4 and 18.5, this locomotive became a legend in German railway history thanks to its elegant appearance, impressive performance, and exceptionally smooth running characteristics. To this day, many railway enthusiasts regard it as the queen of German express locomotives. Its story begins at the start of the 20th century. The Royal Bavarian State Railways faced a growing challenge. Long-distance travel was becoming increasingly popular, trains were getting heavier, and passengers demanded faster services. Existing locomotives could no longer fully meet these requirements, prompting the Bavarian Railway Administration to commission the development of a completely new express locomotive. The task was entrusted to the Munich locomotive manufacturer Maffei. Engineers Anton Hammel and Heinrich Leppler designed a locomotive based on experience gained with a Baden 5 F-class. The result was the S36, a so-called Pacific locomotive with a wheel arrangement 462. The designation S36 stood for an express locomotive with 3 powered axles out of a total of 6 axles. One of its most remarkable features was its 4-cylinder compound engine. 2 high-pressure cylinders and 2 low-pressure cylinders ensured highly efficient use of steam. This allowed the locomotive to produce impressive power while consuming less coal and water. At the time, the design was considered highly advanced and represented the cutting edge of steam locomotive engineering. The first S36 was delivered in 1908. During its initial trials, the locomotive immediately impressed engineers with its smooth ride and reliability. It was capable of hauling heavy express trains at speeds of up to 120 km per hour, an outstanding achievement for its era. The Bavarian State Railways were so impressed by the design that additional locomotives were ordered in several production batches over the following years. Various technical improvements were incorporated from one series to the next, gradually making the locomotive even more efficient and better suited to its intended duties. Between 1908 and 1931, a total of 159 locomotives were built. This made the S36 the most successful Pacific-type locomotive ever developed by a German state railway. Remarkably, production continued even after the creation of the Deutsche Reichsbahn. Before the First World War, the S36 was assigned to Bavaria's most important express services. It hauled prestigious long-distance trains between Munich, Nuremberg, Würzburg, Augsburg, and Lindau. Thanks to its excellent performance, it also excelled on routes with demanding gradients. Locomotive crews particularly appreciated its smooth running qualities and dependable operation. During the First World War, the S36 remained largely in express passenger service. After the war, however, circumstances changed dramatically. Germany was required to surrender many locomotives as war reparations. Several S36 locomotives were transferred to France and Belgium. Despite these losses, the class proved so successful that further production was approved. The establishment of the Deutsche Reichsbahn in 1920 marked a new chapter in the locomotive's history. Existing S36 locomotives were reclassified as classes 18.4 and 18.5. The Reichsbahn was so impressed by their capabilities that it ordered additional batches. In total, 70 more locomotives were built under Reichsbahn administration. This decision was unusual because the Reichsbahn was increasingly focusing on the development of standardized locomotive designs. Nevertheless, the S36 remained so successful that production continued alongside these newer concepts. The 1920s and 1930s represented the golden age of the S36. The locomotive hauled the most important express trains in southern Germany and became a familiar sight on major main lines. It gained international recognition as a locomotive assigned to the famous Rheingold Express, which began operating in 1928 between the Netherlands and Switzerland. The luxurious cream and violet Rheingold coaches were among the most prestigious railway vehicles in Europe, and the elegant S36 proved to be the perfect locomotive for this flagship train. In addition to the Rheingold, the class hauled numerous other premier express services. For decades, it formed the backbone of high-quality passenger transport in southern Germany. Its ability to maintain high speeds while hauling heavy trains made it one of the most successful express steam locomotives in German railway history. With the outbreak of the Second World War, the role of many express locomotives changed significantly. Luxury passenger travel declined sharply, while military transportation and strategically important services took priority. The S36 was now used to haul troop trains, military transport services, and important passenger trains. Despite the increased demands, the locomotive continued to perform reliably. After the war, the surviving locomotives found themselves in different occupation zones. Most eventually became part of the Deutsche Bundesbahn in West Germany. Once again, the outstanding quality of the design became apparent. Although more modern locomotive classes were available, the Bundesbahn continued to rely on the proven S36. During the 1950s, several locomotives underwent extensive modernization. They received new welded high-performance boilers and various technical improvements. These rebuilt locomotives became known as Class 18.6. The modernized engines ranked among the most powerful and economical steam locomotives operated by the Deutsche Bundesbahn. During their final years of service, they continued to haul important express trains throughout southern Germany, particularly in Bavaria, Franconia, and on routes toward Lindau. However, the rapid expansion of railway electrification and the introduction of modern diesel and electric locomotives ultimately sealed their fate. In 1969, the final S36 locomotives were withdrawn from active service by the Deutsche Bundesbahn, bringing more than 60 years of successful operation to an end. The last active representative was locomotive 18505, withdrawn on July 10, 1969, marking the end of one of Germany's most famous express locomotive classes. Fortunately, several examples have been preserved. Among the most famous are locomotives 18478 and 18612. They continue to remind visitors of the golden age of steam railways and attract thousands of enthusiasts to heritage railways and museum events. The Bavarian S36 was far more than just a locomotive. It combined technical excellence with exceptional elegance. For more than 6 decades, it shaped express passenger transport in Germany and became a symbol of the golden age of steam railways. Its beauty, reliability, and impressive performance have secured its place in railway history. Even today, it continues to fascinate railway enthusiasts around the world and stands as a reminder of a time when steam locomotives formed the backbone of long-distance rail travel. This concludes our journey through the history of the legendary BR18, the Bavarian S36. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos about historic railways and legendary steam locomotives. Thank you for watching and see you next time. I would be happy to receive a like and